Good afternoon. Another Pilates class for you at home, hopefully the last week of lockdown. Another change of scene. I'm in my physio room today because the rest of the house all seems to have somebody home working in it. So I'm sorry you can't see my legs, but I'm going to do a quick warm up and then I'll get on to my physio plinth, and I've got the foam roller and a ball, and we'll try and do a fair bit from the plinth today. Let's start with just rolling round on those shoulders. Going music free again, so if you just put some nice slow relaxing music on behind you to work with, you'll find your class more pleasant, I'm sure. So both shoulders just circling. One more, and then just a single shoulder. Now you've set yourself up. I'm making the assumption that you've all gone through your 5 elements, you've sorted your feet out, you've sorted that pelvis, you've got that core pulled in nice and tight. So just releasing one shoulder and then work it back the other way, just rolling round on that shoulder. And then we'll go to elbow. So you're painting a circle with the point of your elbow, but not twisting the body, not rotating at the waist. It's just isolating that shoulder, and the shoulder blade is just rolling tightly down against your spine. And then we'll go for the other side, so your elbow rolling. Nice relaxed shoulder. Just circling backwards. And then forwards, just rolling round. Lovely. And then let's settle with those weighted tray arms, and you're just going to ping them both out and bring them back in. Take them both out, putting the shoulder blades together, nice tall posture, reaching and releasing, breathing out, breathing in, breathe it out and breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out and breathing in, breathing out, reaching to behind the head, shrug and drop, reach those arms up and wide and back to start, reach them out, take them up, shrug and drop, reach them high, wide circle round. Let's keep that movement going. Reach them, reach them out, reach them up, shrug and drop, reach them high, round you go, and back to the weighted tray. Reach them out, up behind the head, shrug and drop, reach, circle those arms round. And sit down a little bit so I'm a bit lower. Twist behind the head, shrug and drop, reach and circle them round. Last one, wide behind the head, shrug and drop, reach and round. And then we're going to go for that head, neck, rolling forward, reaching forward, and then draw those shoulders back, chest out, and then breathing out, rolling head forward, reaching forward. Oliver, can I have some more from that bowl? And then reaching it back. Drop the head, roll forward, and reach it back. Drop the head, reaching forward, and pulling back. One more, reaching forward, and pulling back. And then I'm going to go into a wide stance, and I'm just going to scoop that hand up and reach it overhead, bring it back, other way, reach it up, stretch it over, so you're holding a squat, and bring that back down, reach this one up, roll it over, bring it back, come back down, reach the other side up, easing over, back up, unzip, unzip the other side, reaching over and come back down. And we'll just do a few squats. You could just imagine my knees are bending, just dropping and coming back up. Just warming those legs. One more, and then take that stance narrow again, so your feet are almost close together, and you're just squatting and coming back up. Squat and 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 back up. Hands to your hips. We're going to raise a hip, take it out to the side, place it down, pick it back up, bring it back forward, place it in. Another leg. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, circle it back, bring it back. Other side, lift, twist, touch the floor. Lift, twist and down. Lift, twist, touch down, lift it wide, bring it back to centre, place it down. Just keep that going for me on one side and the other side. Twist, touch, twist and back. Twist, touch, down, lift and back. So we're just really working through that hip. And back, and lift, and back. Fantastic. We'll do a quick roll down, so we're just dropping the head, rolling down towards the floor, dropping right down, and then start peeling back up, all the way back up, drawing in one more, so the head drops forward. You're rolling down towards the floor and back up. Okay, so I'm going to get onto a foam roller. If you haven't got a foam roller at home, you can just get onto, do all of these just on your mat. So I'm on a physio plinth today, a bit far off the ground. It'll improve my core strength, I'm sure, because I won't want to fall off this at this height. So hopefully you've got a good view of me. So we're on this foam roller. We're going to be creating a big arch underneath my back and then flatten it down. So I'm squashing my fingers and then arch up again and then flatten down and squash my fingers and then just release so that your fingers fit underneath your back but they're not being squashed flat. And then let your hands just come down to the edge of your mat and my plinth here. Neck is long, shoulder blades are peeling round that roller, and then you're going to engage those deep core muscles for me. And we're going to start by just sliding one leg away and bringing it back in. Sliding it out and bringing it back. Sliding it out and bringing it back. We're going to do 8, 7, and 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now making sure that that other leg is not moving. So now this becomes my static leg. I'm going to switch sides, engage that core, make sure you've still got that engage, that those shoulder blades pulled around your roller. Then you're just going to slide the other leg away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then both feet can stay still, both hands are going to come overhead, and then you're going to give me a circle. Overhead arms, and a circle round. overhead arms and a circle. Overhead arms and circle it round. Overhead arms and circle. Now, let's see if we can put the leg with that. So you're sliding away with the leg and bringing those arms back round. Sliding away and coming back round. Sliding away. Seeing if you can stay off the ground this time. Sliding. So you're stretching out, but you're not extending that lumbar spine. You're still able to reach, and you can see I've got a very slight wobble on there because this is quite difficult to concentrate on tensing the core and fixing with that one leg that is holding me on my plinth. Okay, and then just switch legs. So again, we're going to start just getting the arms going, learn the movement. So we're breathing out, breathing in, and then when you're ready, you're going to slide the other leg away, slide away, and then if you feel able, take that leg off the ground. At any time, you could just do the arms, or just do the legs, or go back to the slide if you feel you're going to roll off the roller. And then this is the hardest level, just with the leg up in the air. Okay, and rest back down. We're going to go from there to a scissor move. So you're just lifting that leg up to 90, don't go beyond the 90, try and keep that 90 degree at the knee and just drop that leg. Pick the other leg up, stop at the 90 and drop. And change, and change, and change, and change. With your breath pattern, breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. And then see if you can speed that up so that you've got neither foot touching along. Still maintaining that little space just underneath the back. And both feet coming back down. And now we're going to bring the hands up towards the ceiling. And you're going to work to just take one hand out, bring it back, take the other hand out, and bring it back. Take one hand wide, return, take the other hand wide, and return. This hand wide, and just alternate. And let your hands come back down to the mat. Bring your heels a little closer in to your roller. And we're going to imprint the centre of the back down to the roller. Pick the bottom cheeks up. And then push the knees away so that you're up in your bridge. And then from there, you're just going to lift to your toes, lifting your heels clear of your mat. And lift. And lift. Lift, lower, lift, lower, but you're keeping up in that bridge, you're keeping that space underneath your back. Okay, and then squeeze the knees together and let them come apart. Squeeze the knees together and come apart. Squeeze the knees and release. Squeeze the knees and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Just staying high. You're going to pick one leg up and the other leg up. So we've still got that space, so you're off that roller there. Got the middle of your back free. You're lifting, lifting, just alternating. And this is hard. So again, if you want to, you can go back to just practicing your scissoring, or just lift and lower, and lift and lower, lift and lower. One more, lift and lower. And we're now going to work to a hip twist. So you're going to let one leg fall out sideways and take it back up. Let the other leg fall out sideways and bring it back in. Let one fall out and bring it back in. The other fall out, bring it back in. Let's put the arms overhead while we're doing that. So alternate leg falling out, arms are reaching behind you. Reaching and back to centre. Reach that leg out, back to centre. Reach the leg out, back to centre. Reach the leg out and back to centre. With the hands high, you're now going to stretch everything out on your right hand side and bring it back in. Stretch away, reaching that left hand overhead, bring it back. Stretch away. Bring it back, stretch away, bring it back, stretch away, bring it back, stretch away, bring it back. Let's change side. Stretch away, bring it back. Breathing out and breathing in. Breathing out and breathing in. Breathe it out, breathe it in. Breathe it out, breathe it in, breathe it out, breathe it in. Last one. There we go. And bring that foot back down. We're just going to do little crunches. So you're just lifting and lowering. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Couple more. Last one. Hands coming down by your side. Your head and neck is just up. And you're just going to do hundreds, just patting, but no leg lift because you're working at staying on that core. Breathing in for 5 and breathing out for 5. Last one, and gently let that head come back down. This time you're going to pick that leg up and straight leg up, and we're going to draw a little circle with that leg, just looping it round, using the ankle, but keeping the knee straight, and obviously working to stay level and not fall off your roller. If you can, try and take your arms off the mat, so you've got your hands at your hips, and you'll feel that will really increase your balance. If it's too hard on a full leg, you can do a half leg, and you can can see, unfortunately, my static leg is really struggling with that. So I'm going to just put my elbows down, and that's going to allow me to keep the stability in that weight-bearing foot. Okay, and then let that leg come back down. See if I'm any better on this side. This is my stronger side. So here I'm just managing to keep that shoulder up, this leg's staying static, and I'm making a circle with that leg, just imagining that there's a biro on my foot, and I'm drawing a circle on the ceiling. And folding off, and we'll come off that roller, and I'm going to pop it underneath my hands. So I'm going to come up into all fours, and the roller is going to balance on my plinth. And now what I'm going to work to do is I'm going to arch and hollow, and arch and hollow, arch my back and hollow out, arch, dropping the head, coming back to neutral, but imagining that there's a torch on my head. I don't want that looking up at the ceiling, I want it beaming at the wall opposite me so that there's no stress on my neck. Back to neutral, lifting up, taking the head back to neutral. Okay, and then we're going to start with just sliding one leg away. Just come up the plinth a little bit more so that you can see me. Just sliding one leg out, bringing it towards the roller, sliding it out, towards the roller, sliding away. And the extra height from the roller allows you this knee to make contact virtually with your elbow. So bending it in and stretching it out. Bending in and stretch out, keeping that flat back. And then keeping that leg out, you're just going to draw me a circle. And keep an even weight bearing on both hands. And the neck is looking down, your nose is really pointing towards the roller between your two thumbs. And then we let that leg come back down, stretch the other one out, bring it towards your elbow, stretch it out towards the elbow. And we're doing 10 of these. So this is 3, 4, breathing out, breathing in, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, holding it out, and a little circle. Just keeping that back level. Visualise that you've got a tray on your back with a glass of water on it, and you don't want to spill a drop, so you're keeping that back nice and tight, keeping your core tucked in. A bit of pressure going through the shoulders, don't stress your neck. And then let that leg come back in. And we're just going to drop back. Just move that little ball. And you let the roller roll you away. And just ease through that spine. And bring it back up. Widen those knees. Do the same thing again. You'll get a little bit lower this time. And just push down and away with that roller. Just lifting your rear. And stretching through that spine. And then when you get right down there, you just roll your roller away and lift one arm off and the other arm off. Lift one off and the other arm off. Lifting up. So here you're flexing and stretching through the spine and just elongating through the shoulders. And back up into all fours position again. Really loading through the roller. You're going to just hover and half back down. Hover up, halfway back down. hover it up, halfway down, hover, halfway down, hover, halfway down, hover, halfway down, hover, halfway down, and rest. Next one we're going to do is a full plank. So I've just rolled the roller just a little bit further in front of me so that I can come up and hold that plank on top of the roller. And then fold those knees, let yourself drop down again, stretch those arms away from you and have a moment. And we're going to do that again. So you're coming up, you've got your arms just, and if you're just doing the hovers, you have the roller quite close to you. Coming up into a plank, you want that roller just a little bit further in front of you so that when you lift the knees and come up, you're now again back at the 90 degrees at the wrist over the top of that roller. It's often more comfortable on the wrists than it is on the bed because your palms can just rest over the top of the roller. Drawing up that core, loading your weight over the top of the shoulders. Just a few more seconds. And then let your knees come down. Release those wrists. Relax those shoulders. And then in that all fours position, you can put your roller horizontally next to you. And you're going to allow yourself to roll through and bring it back up. So your hand needs to, the left hand needs to be quite wide, and then space to let you roll through and come back. Roll it through and come back. Rolling through, come back up. Same on the other side. This might be easier for you to see this time. You're rolling through, coming back, rolling through, coming back, rolling through, and back, rolling through, and back. Lovely. Right, we'll use the roller for a minute or two. One more position in the all fours. We're going to go to alternate arm and leg. Just reaching away and reaching away. Again, visualise that pint glass of water on your back. You don't want to spill it. Over onto your side, dropped my little cushion. I'm using a rolled up towel today. So, you're going down on your side, and you've got the cushion just tucked between your neck and your shoulder. Bring yourself up onto that, properly onto that hip so the hip is upright, and then align that arm down your side, and we'll just lift to that clam. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to pick up those feet as if they are sitting on a little milking stool, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, really pulling back on that shoulder blade, 7 and 8, and then up into a kick, pop the feet together, close and down, pick them up, open, kick, close the feet, close the knees, let the foot down, lift, open, kick, feet together, knees together, back down, lift, open, kick, knees together, feet down. Last one, lift, kick, close and down, straightening those legs. Just remove that little ball that I haven't actually used. I'll just pop that down on the floor. You're now going to just lift that top leg, lift the lower leg to meet it, and close them both. If you need a hand down in front of you to balance, help yourself. Lift, bring the knees together, and let them close. You don't go very high. Lifting to hip height, lifting the lower leg off, and coming down. Lift, match it, squeezing close on the adductor of the hip here. Lift, squeeze, and down. Together, lift, and down. Together, lift, and down. Together, and down. Lift, squeeze together, and back down. Fabulous. Now lifting that top leg just to hip height, you're just going to waft it forward and draw it back. Waft it forward and draw it back. Waft it forward, draw it back. Waft it forward, draw it back. Waft it forwards and draw it back. Waft it forward and draw it back. One more. And then last but not least, little circle. Just circling that hip. And change direction. So 4 in one direction, 4 in the other. And then repeat, so 4 forward. And 4 backwards. And then last set, 4 forward. And 4 backwards. And you can see that lower leg is straight, which really increases the work that you have to do to stop yourself wobbling backwards and forwards. Okay, so we're going to come up onto that elbow now. Feet are going to be out straight, and then you're just going to reach over and bring your hand back down. So reach it over and come back. So you're creating bit of extra space under the waist, and then see if you can come up. So you've got straight legs, lunging, pushing through that elbow, reaching over and coming back down, reaching over. Now if that's too hard, do it from a bent knee position, and that makes that a lot easier. If you can challenge yourself, take your legs out straight, reaching over and coming back down, reaching over and coming back down, reach it and return, reach and return. Lovely. Okay, let's go. We're going to go head to the other end of a mat, or my plinth here I've got today. Now before we lie down, I know you've probably lost my head off the top of the camera here. We're just going to go into a hip flexor stretch. So here you're going to tuck that tailbone underneath you, and then just lunge forward and get a stretch through the front side of that hip. Good, just holding that stretch and then dropping forwards, straightening that front leg, pulling the toes up. If you can reach, even better. Give that 10-second hold, and we'll do the other side. So you're folding forward and stretching. Tilt that pelvis and just feel that nice stretch going through the front of that hip. If you want, you can bring those hands up to the stretch, or just concentrate on holding onto the top of that knee and concentrating on the stretch here. Don't overload through that front knee. If you can, just walk it forward so it stays at 90 degrees. And then just take your weight backwards, slide that foot very slightly, come forwards and pull onto the front of that foot so you're stretching up the back of this calf. Few more seconds hold, nice stretch through the calf and the hamstring. If you drop the head It challenges your balance a little bit more and it stretches your sciatic nerve slightly. We'll slide that leg through and we've got all of this to do at the other end. So stretch, little cushion down between your ear and your shoulder. You take up that clam position, align that shoulder backwards so that you're showing me your chest, and then lift and lower, and lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. We're doing about 8 simple clams, and then lift your feet clear of the bed, and then lift and lower for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to do a clam, so we're going to go down, lift to clam 2, clam it up, give it a kick, feet together, knees together, and replace. Lift the feet up into the clam, make me a kick, feet together, knees together, feet down. Lift the feet, clam, kick, replace, and down. Lift, open, kick, close the feet, close the knees, feet back to the mat. Lift, open, kick, together, and down. Last one. Kick, close, and down. Now we're straightening both the legs, just wiggle up slightly so you can see me. Straightening the legs, and we're just lifting and lowering, lift and lower. We'll do 6 of these, and 6, and then bring the other leg up and close them. Lift, bring the other foot up and close. Now if that's too difficult, bend the underneath leg and just lift, continue with your lifts and lowers. But if you want that extra challenge, bring that lower leg up and down. Lift, and the hand's gone in front of you here rather than on. That's even more difficult, I can't do it. So hands going down and down, but you might be better than me on this particular exercise. And if you can manage that, have a go. So lift, lift, and lower. I find I can't keep that hip facing forwards properly without that leaning hand forward and down. And lift, close, and down. Lift, close, and down. And then pick that top leg up, and then you're just going to waft it forwards and back. 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 So you're pointing the foot on the way forward and pulling the heel as you return. Pulling the toes up towards you. And pulling. Couple more. And our last sequence in this position was little circles. So we're doing 4 forwards, 3 and 4, and 4 backwards. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last set. 4 forwards. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure you're feeling the burn as I am there. And then we came up onto that elbow, and your options are just making that waist curve and the legs stay down. Either bent knee, it's the next level of easiness, or the toughie, which is to have both feet out straight and lift. Oh, losing balance there. And lift and lower. Come down the bed slightly. Lift and lower. And lift and lower. 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 Last one. just roll over so you're on your elbows. You're just going to gently cobra up for me and roll it back down. Cobra lift and lower. And lift and lower. And lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 2 more. Good. And then we're going to go down onto our front. Let's take the roller out of the way. Popping that little cushion or towel underneath your forehead. You've got both arms reaching out in front of you. Creep down the neck of the bed a little bit so that you can see me. And we're just going to start with alternate arm lifts. Keep that core tucked in tight while you're doing that. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Out to lift, in to lower. Really seeing if you can tuck that tailbone down towards the mat. Keep that engaged, that bottom engaged, keep the core engaged. And then the move is just a simple arm lift. If you don't keep the core, you're more likely to roll as you lift those arms. So your core needs to be in tight, and then you're lifting alternate arms. And then bring those hands back to the 90 degrees for me, and you're just going to lift them off and lower. Lift them back and lower. Lift them back, really pulling the shoulder blades down against your chest. Drawing them back. And then reaching, I need to come away from the wall slightly. Reaching forward, drawing them back. Reaching forward and drawing those shoulder blades back. Reaching forward and drawing back. Reaching forward, keeping the forehead just resting down on the floor, on your little pad. Good. And the arms rest back on to your mat. And this time, alternate legs, just lifting and lowering. Just lift one, lift the other. Lift one, lift the other. Try and keep your knees still and straight, pointing those toes, and then let one bend and straighten, bend the other in and straighten, bend and straighten, bend and straighten, bend and bend, and then pick up that hand and just give one hand against the foot and push that hand, push the foot into your hand to stretch your quadricep. Hold for about 10 seconds. Release that one, pick up the other one, and then push into that hand, making that triangle. And just really push against your hand with the foot. Giving it a nice active stretch to the quadricep. And then we'll turn ourselves over. We'll progress to a few more stretches. So over onto your back again. Little pad just underneath your head. And we're just going to tip the knees over to one side and straighten that top leg. And replace, twist them the other way and straighten top leg, twist and straighten. Looking in the opposite direction to the leg, bend the knee back in, fold them to the middle, fold them over, stretch and look in the opposite direction to the leg, and then come back to centre again, picking up that rear leg, stretching it up tall and slide the front leg away, and then we'll just circle the foot then just push your hands into that straightened knee and just ease it in. Pull the toes up towards you. Feel that extra bit of stretch in the back of the calf. And release that one, slide that leg back, pop the heel onto the opposite knee and widen out, picking that leg up off the floor and giving that leg a nice stretch. Just where we work those buttock muscles. And release. And then stretch the other leg, pick it up and slide the other one straight. Straighten those elbows, straighten that knee as much as you can. Pull the toes up towards you and just hold that stretch. See if we can do a circle with the ankle. Just easing that hamstring in towards you. And then just hold it there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide that leg in. Pop that heel onto the opposite knee. Widen out on the hip joint. And pick that leg up off the floor. And feel that nice stretch underneath this glute. And release. And come up into your sitting. And in sitting, I just want you to work on that pelvic tilt. You're just going to roll it back for me. And make a curve your back into a C shape. And then roll the pelvis the other way and straighten it up and sit really tall. And then roll it away again. And straighten it up. And roll away. Dropping the head. And reaching tall. Roll it away. And reaching tall. And then we're just going to toy soldier those arms. One up, one down. One up, one down. Just really reaching. And then we'll slide away. And back up. Other one comes up. Slide your hand away. Now you're probably having to sit long sitting like that with your feet along the mat. That's absolutely fine. But try and make sure you're staying tall. If you need to bend the knees slightly to maintain that upright posture, then that's what I want you to do. This time drop that other elbow down towards your mat. So you've got two bent elbows. This time you'll feel more stretch along here. And then straighten it up. Pop that hand down, drop to the elbow. Take that elbow over the top. Feel that nice stretch going through your side. One more to each side. Bend down to the elbow. Take this elbow over the top. And straighten up. Last one. Bending to the elbow. Pointing the other elbow up to the ceiling. Bringing it back up for me. And we'll just take this hand over behind your head and give it a nice stretch from the work we were doing when we were doing our planks. And bring it across your body. And then stretch this hand over the top. And over. And then let's just finish with the neck. I'm just going to drop the head and lift. Drop. And lift. Drop. And lift. Drop. And lift. Starting to look to the left and to the right. Look to the left and look to the right. Popping that hand back onto your mat. You're going to take the other hand and just hold the head and just pull away from that side. Just easing through that shoulder. And release, bring that hand down. Lean away to your left. And just a gentle pressure from that left hand overhead, but pushing that right hand down onto your mat. Good. And then finally we're just going to lean down towards those toes. A stretch. And then sitting really tall. Couple of big breaths. And release. Big breath in, sitting high. And release. Sitting high. And release. And thank you very much for watching. Hopefully next week we're back in class and I'll see you there. Bye for now.